All right, guys, so welcome back to another episode of our walking tours throughout the city of Chicago, exploring and getting to see all the different areas and why you should move there. Now, today we have a really fun episode because today we are exploring the neighborhood of the Loop. Now, the Loop got its name by the elevated tracks that surround the business center, and this is the core neighborhood that most people think of when they're moving into the city of Chicago or they're coming to visit for just fun. My name is Samuel Ciochon. I'm a local real estate broker with the Chicago Lifestyle team and at Properties, and I'm super excited to welcome you and explore the city of Chicago with you because after selling real estate here for 16 years and living here for almost 20, I love the city and I love showing people around. And today we actually have a special guest. This is my friend Stephen McGee. He's visiting from New York City.
I know nothing about Chicago, really. I've heard of the Loop, which is great, but I don't know anything about the city, so I'm excited to learn.
I'm gonna tell him how the city operates and everything that's really exciting about the Loop. The Loop actually is our central business district. So it really kind of started like in the early 1800s. So this is kind of like our oldest neighborhood in the city of Chicago. So boundaries for the Loop actually are gonna go from the north side, which is the river, east side, which is the Lake Michigan. On the south end, it's Roosevelt Street. And then on the west side, you actually have all the way over to like the highway. I know we kind of talk about West Loop Gate, so that kind of like merges together. Fun thing is, a lot of it kind of started with the streetcars. So back in the day in like the 1830s, State Street, which is our main shopping district, it's our second shopping district outside of Michigan Avenue, is where a lot of things started taking place. The Palmers, which was our mega wealthy family back in the day, created the Palmer Hotel, which really solidified that State Street Avenue. And then on top of it, built out a commercial district, really honing in on people moving in. The train system itself was completed in 1897, and again, just really solidifies everything. Now, Hi. All right, so change of plans. We got kicked out of Millennium Park. So, yeah.
They're really high security in Chicago.
High security.
That's a nice city benefit.
Super safe.
Yeah, very safe city.
Yeah. Also, just as a heads up, dogs are not allowed in Millennium Park. They're allowed in Grant Park, but Millennium Park is not. I knew it, but we tried to test it. So if you are neighborhood hunting, the best thing about the Loop is it actually is really affordable for what most people think, being down in the central business district. Now, there's not a ton of residential in this neighborhood. There's pockets that you will typically find, and there are select buildings throughout the neighborhood that do have residential on top of the commercial. The median price point for a condo in this neighborhood is roughly around $420,000, which is really affordable market in comparison to a lot of the other neighborhoods that we've covered. So if you are looking for a neighborhood that you are centrally located, but also you just want to be in the heart of everything, but you also want a good deal, this neighborhood could actually be it. You have access to the parks. Both of the rivers kind of branch out here. They've done a really good job improving the Riverwalk, which they've expanded in the last 10 years. Which is a perfect amenity, centrally located to all of the trains and all of the highways to get everywhere. Now, the one thing that I would say is a negative, the business district does kind of die at night. So there's not a lot of like restaurants and all of that that's going to be here. Typically after that 7 o'clock time frame is when it kind of shuts down. Now, a lot of people will go across the river on the north side to River North, or even west, which is West Loop, or south, which is South Loop. You still have access to everything. That being said, let's go walk around the neighborhood and I'll give you some insider tips, especially with you.
Great.
And then we'll kind of go from there. All right, guys, so we're starting our tour off. We're just gonna do a loop around the Loop. kind of show you my favorite hotspots of the neighborhood. So as you can tell, we just got kicked out of Millennium Park. Millennium Park is an amazing park that was actually built in 2006, 2007 was when it was completed, which seems so shocking that it was such a new
how was all
addition.
that land there?
So it used to be just a parking lot and trains. And so they wanted to, with Richard Daley, beautify it. And so they created the Pritzker Pavilion, which is where we have our concert series. We have shows in the park, movies in the park, all of that. So everyone, practically every night, will go to the park, pull out a picnic blanket, and just be serenaded by a lot of the songs. And cool thing is, north of the river is called the Magnificent Mile. South of the river, we have what's called the Cultural Mile. So the Cultural Mile is actually solidified by the Cultural Center, which is just north of here. And then you also have all of the arts, which is right next to the theater district. And then you also have the Art Institute right here, and the CSO, the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, all perform here. So a lot happening right here on Michigan Avenue, which is really kind of fun.
That's nice. I like all the theaters.
Yeah, actually one of my favorite restaurants, if you're a theater person, is the Dearborn. It's a locally owned business. They're open a little bit later, and it's a really good restaurant.
Cute.
Yeah, so then this is the Art Institute,
Oh, okay.
which is super cool. Kind of like the Met.
Was this building built to be the Art Institute of Chicago, or was it something else?
No, I actually don't know that.
Oh.
So sorry.
Guess you don't know everything.
I don't know everything. That's the fun thing about life.
Was this built to be a Chick-fil-A, or?
It was not supposed to be a Chick-fil-A. No, not at all.
I mean, this feels very, like, metropolitan.
It is very metropolitan.
It feels
It's like your guys' financial district. Now, across the street, right behind the Art Institute and all the way south is actually Grant Park. So Grant Park and Millennium Park are two completely different parks. Grant Park is actually about 300 acres. Like, it's a huge park, and it has a ton of amenities for residents here. So you have dog parks, softball fields, tennis courts. This is actually where the Buckingham Fountain is, which in the summer is an iconic landmark. In the summer, we actually have Lollapalooza.
I've heard of that.
And we also have a lot of other festivals that take place down here. And then the one thing about Grant Park is you'll see a lot of French influence, just because Paris is our sister city. So kind of fun fact.
Is it?
Yes! All right, guys, so we're gonna now cut in off of Michigan Avenue, and we are going to head over to Wabash, which is right underneath the train tracks, like where you're from.
The train tracks? I don't live by the train tracks. Our trains are underground. I prefer it that way.
Well, here we elevate things.
Okay.
We have an elevated sense of self here in the city of Chicago.
Elevated sense of style.
Yes.
What is this building, the blue top up there?
Why, great question, Stephen. That building is actually the Harold Washington Public Library.
Uh-oh.
It's huge. I think it's 7 stories. The cool thing in it is at the actual top, they have this like atrium that is really beautiful.
Okay.
Actually, one of my clients
Pretty.
who just sold the Mies van der Rohe building, his husband, who unfortunately passed away, was one of the architects that designed it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
One of my favorite things like in Chicago is every fall, so in October, they do what's called Open House Chicago. And so they have, it's run by the Architecture Foundation, and they open up everything. So like any building you can kind of go into, and they'll show you all the architecture.
That's why I like my subways underground.
It's classic Chicago.
Yeah, I watched The Bear. I know about that.
Yes. So Wabash, actually just north of here, is called the Jewelers District. This is where all the jewelry shops used to be way back in the day. There's a few of them that are sprinkled in. I think it's very quintessential Chicago, and there's like a lot of little mom and pop places, especially restaurants that have been here forever.
And survived.
And they have survived. They're tried and true. And if you're like a true Chicagoan, you like going to them. So a lot of this area to the south is actually Columbia College. College area.
The one from New York?
No. This is like, it's a art school. It's really well known for.
Okay.
But then this is kind of like college district. So you have DePaul University, you have Robert Morris. The city colleges are down here.
Chicago has a lot of universities and colleges.
That's because we're smart.
I can't say anything.
Touche!
I dropped out, so. But it worked out for me, and I didn't have to take on all that debt. I love this building. It looks pretty.
Yeah, those are apartments, actually. One of the best things about Chicago architecture, especially like if you're looking to buy around here, 20 North State Street is just north of here, and then 5 North Wabash are really cool buildings that have really big, tall ceilings.
I like a big, tall ceiling and a big window. Otherwise, I'll just sleep. I feel like it would be very cool to live down here and like very Chicago to be near this. But is this like unbearably loud when you're inside?
It's the city, yes, it is loud. One of like my old stomping grounds was Brando's. It's like this cute little speakeasy right here on the corner underneath the Fisher building. So fun. They do karaoke.
Oh, what's your go-to karaoke song?
I don't do karaoke, I watch and judge.
Well, that's not fair. You can't be the Simon and the Randy. You have to participate.
Well, when they say you can't, you coach.
If you can't do it, you shouldn't be coaching.
Well, you judge.
My go-to karaoke song is Lucky by Britney Spears.
Lucky?
Yeah. Have you ever heard that song and not sing along with it? It's a great crowd pleaser.
Okay, I love that.
Don't steal that from me.
My next one's gonna be Oops, She Did It Again, right after you. That's gonna be the best. Do you like this mosaic of the Loop?
Oh, is this the Loop?
You see the skyline, the river, the people. This is actually the Board of Trade. Here's the Willis and Sears Tower. You have Grant Park. This is gonna be the Illinois building, which is the new Google building. This is the federal prison.
Cute.
One inmate tried to escape.
Are there any famous inmates there right now?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think Blagojevich was serving there, like our governor. But the home had the bay windows, which allowed a lot of natural sunlight, and it was like a huge space. It was like 1,400 square feet.
Oh, wow.
2-bed. And guess what the price was? $250,000.
Oh.
I mean, where can you buy a place for $250,000? It needed work.
Not in New York.
Yeah. This is always like a really cool mural right here as well.
Art.
Art all over the city.
Back to the Loop.
Yes.
That can be the title of this video.
So as we cross Congress Highway, we actually get into a small little micro neighborhood called Printers Row. It was actually known for the printing presses that used to dominate this area. Because of that, we have so many loft units down here, which are really kind of cool. So if you're looking for something that's super unique in terms of housing, this is a really fun area. Parking is a little difficult, but it's really, really quaint. We're gonna walk down Dearborn Street, which has some of my favorite spots to hit in the Loop, Printers Row Winery, wine shop. And then there's also a couple of really cute coffee shops over here. So
I love that.
Let's go.
I love the printing press.
The printing press. Yeah, actually, you do get really cool units.
I feel like, well, the windows look very nice.
Yeah. Kidding.
Not far away from the other areas.
So this is the residential area. Actually, this building is called the Transportation Building. It's 600 South Dearborn. A lot of clients live in this one.
Oh my God, and a perk. They have a 7-Eleven.
Yes.
You can get anything you need here.
Yeah. The O'Mara is really good, like the Thai place. And then this Italian place is really good too.
I will say it is very nice how much greenery there is in Chicago. Lots of trees, lots of trees, not just like a little sapling. Can I have a hot matcha, please, with vanilla and lavender?
I'm gonna do the flat white. Special delivery.
Thank God she's been crying the whole time.
That one's yours. This one's mine. This one's yours. All right, you ready for your cup? Good job.
So this is still in the Loop.
In the
Loop.
Loop.
It's a sub-neighborhood.
It's a sub-neighborhood, Printers Row.
Got it.
And every summer they do Literature Fest down here for the books.
How nice.
We look so cute in our matching outfits. Like, isn't that crazy?
The Sears Tower.
Yes.
It actually is quite a big building. Like, when you look at it, it looks so tall and skinny, but then from this angle, it's fat.
It's tubular. So they built tubes around to make it go really high.
I don't know a lot about building buildings, but why is it called the Windy City again?
Politics.
Oh, right. I just always thought it was breezy.
No. We'll go on the Riverwalk. All these new buildings are really pretty. Really
Although
nice.
this never really took off, I guess, for what they wanted it to be, it looks really pretty.
Oh, it's super cool on the inside. This is the money shot, buddy.
Where? This?
Here.
It's pretty nice.
They're actually redoing this entire Riverwalk.
Oh, there we go, yeah.
Yeah, so they're redoing the, yeah. Don't I show you the best parts of Chicago?
You showed me
The federal prison.
the prison, the train, the underpass, and now this. At least you finished with the best.
Remember, sometimes you have to go through the darkness before you see the light. And that's New York to Chicago.
Is that supposed to be a little take on Dolly? You can't have a rainbow without the rain.
You're right.
It's Dolly Parton.
See, Dolly is smart.
She's very smart.
Yes. Also, you see the yellow little boat? That's called the water taxi. You can actually take the water taxi along the river and it will drop you off at certain spots along it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you live down here, you can actually hop on that and get downtown if you work downtown.
That's convenient.
Yeah. God, it never ceases to amaze me how amazing Chicago is.
Gorgeous, stunning, inspired, some could say.
I am inspired every single day. Wow, isn't this cool?
It's crazy. This is such a nice public space though for people. I mean, that was nice. It did not even feel like you're in the city and then you just pop right up here amongst the buildings.
Yeah. And I mean, you have iconic buildings right here. All right, so now we're gonna head north up through the actual business loop. You know, New Yorkers walk really slow.
I'm on vacation. I'm relaxing. Is this where all the businesses are?
Yeah, this is the business. So this is a little dog park right here, which is kind of nice. So 235 West Van Buren is this building right here, which is great, actually really affordable price condos as well. And then you can actually see the Board of Trade, and then it has the statue on top, which is the Statue of Agriculture.
The agriculture statue. I remember that from the tour.
Look up.
Whoa!
This is literally like, do you feel like Ferris
Bueller?
Bueller's Day Off?
I never saw that movie.
Okay, so first off, we gotta watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That is quintessential Chicago.
Oh, it takes place here.
Day off from school, he plays hooky and he goes
I
run
knew
around
that.
all Chicago land.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
They go to a Cubs game.
I just didn't know that it happened in Chicago. I knew about him taking the day off.
That's in the title.
No, I knew that far. And I knew he rides around. There's something on a car.
Yeah.
Yeah. And does he kiss an older woman?
I don't remember that.
That might be a different movie. But
That's the
I kind of get it.
The Graduate.
Oh, yeah.
Graduate.
That's it. I don't claim to be an expert on everything.
I don't either. So Chicago is somewhat known for deep dish pizza.
So that's what Chicago is known for.
Giordano's is one of them.
Okay.
And Illuminati's. We do not eat deep dish.
You don't do it?
No, that's a tourist thing.
Oh.
I don't know why we got known for it.
Like the New York hot dogs on the street?
Yeah.
Nobody eats a hot dog on the street. Tourists love it. I mean, it's a scam. So Chicago scams too, that's nice. I thought everybody in Chicago was eating deep dish pizza.
No.
I mean, that's the way it looks in
No.
the movies.
We eat tavern style pizza, which means little squares.
I don't believe in that.
Square slices.
I don't.
So this is the Rookery. It's like such a pretty building.
Oh. Oh, wow. Very pretty.
So the architecture is incredible. So Daniel Burnham is the guy who designed it, but he is the one who created the plan of Chicago
Oh, wow.
back in the early 1900s.
It's amazing that this stuff can survive.
I know.
No,
It's so
but
pretty, and I
they're-
love like the stairwell.
Oh, yeah.
And then you
yeah.
have the Frank Lloyd Wright in here, which is two iconic architects that literally are in the same building. And I always love like the old,
The old school elevator doors.
yeah. But even just like the intricate gold leafs that go in. So the cool thing about being down here is you can pop into any of these buildings and see all of the architecture from the inside too.
That's so fun.
Yeah, a lot of these are public buildings too, so it's gorgeous on the outside, but also the insides are the fun things. A lot of this is commercial. None of this is residential. So City Hall is right there.
Yeah, it's a big city hall.
Yeah, this is like a city plaza that they do a ton of stuff on. So every Thursday in the summer, they do this little farmer's market.
Cute.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, I always wanted to be a farmer shop kind of person, but I never buy anything, but I like to look. The only thing I've ever bought from a farmer's market stand were dahlias, like the flower.
Oh, flowers, yeah. And then the famous Picasso statue,
Oh, not what I thought it was gonna be.
gifted it to the city. It's an English
It
cucumber.
reminds me of last night at the Hendrix lunch.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say.
It's cucumber based.
Sorry, we didn't buy you an asparagus or an arrowroot.
You know how I feel about vegetables. It's yarrow root.
So now we're like just north, and this is the theater district. So this is like a cool
Okay.
area. So the Goodman Theater is right here, world famous. You have the Netherlander, you have the Joffrey Ballet, who they don't perform there, but they practice there. And then the Chicago Theater is right behind us. And then you have the Cadillac, actually.
So
right
many
over here.
theaters.
Well, yes, on top of all the smaller theaters, but these are the big theaters that are really nice. So,
Is Garrett popcorn a Chicago thing?
yes.
I knew it was going to be a Chicago thing because people annoy the hell out of me about it in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're like, where is the
I
Garrett
had a bunch
popcorn?
of Garrett popcorn recently. Someone sent it to me.
So also over here on Sundays, it's called Sundays on State. They close the street down and it's like a festival every Sunday. But I love this is like one of the best theaters. Are you mesmerized by them?
Well, you know what I actually was thinking about was there was an old theater in Times Square that turned into a McDonald's, but McDonald's kept the like overhang.
Oh yeah. That's cool.
Is it the arts die, but McDonald's gets to live?
So that's the Carbon and Carbide building. It's literally one of my favorite buildings.
I
That's
love
the one
that building. It's like green block tile.
So it's 24 karat gold, actually.
Yeah, I
on
love
top. You love rich.
Yeah, it's
Rich.
giving rich.
This is Veterans Park. One of the best things about Chicago is literally just the waterways. So we have Lake Michigan, that's amazing, but we also have the river. And the river has really expanded essentially since I've been in Chicago. So started off with like the O'Brien's, which is a cafe right here, but they literally engineered this entire thing. So it always used to be just like little like cuts of like river space, sidewalk right next to like in between the bridges. But they did this beautiful like river walk that connects it all. And now so each individual section now has restaurants and like that stuff.
Things that you find on a Riverwalk.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so City
Yeah,
White.
we've had some bars,
City Winery,
restaurants.
Tiny Tap. Those are like two really popular ones. As we go closer to the lake, actually it gets even like more fun too. But it goes all the way down. And then actually on the merchandise mart, they do like this big art on the mart. So they have a projection screen that literally displays everything up there. So it's super cool. It's a really amazing amenity for the
It'd be
neighborhood.
nice if you live over here, yeah.
Yeah. So when I live in River North, I literally will just run along here. It's kind of hard to ride a bike and sometimes run, but because it gets a little packed, but it's really awesome.
Yeah, I know. I tried to ride a bike on here once.
I did take you
was
on a bike ride
miserable.
here, and you were like, I haven't been on a bike in 10 years.
I'm not gonna do it here.
Yeah. Take the Chicago Architecture Foundation tour. See, you gotta throw little bits in there like that.
Oh, then you can see Navy Pier, right?
Navy Pier, yeah. All right, so now as we like cross Michigan Avenue, there's this like little micro neighborhood pocket, which we're about to go in. It's called Lakeshore East. It's really kind of a quaint neighborhood. You actually have really great architecture over here. Jeannie Gang is the most winning female architect, and she designed the Aqua Tower, but then also the St. Regis, which is right behind us. So really great architecture over here.
I don't know if I would call this neighborhood quaint. I mean,
wait till I show you the park. They have its own little private park, which is why people really like it. But there's a grocery store, it's still accessible to everything. But then the other cool thing is they actually have like a pedway system that connects from here all the way into the loop. So when it's snowing or raining or anything like that, you actually don't have to walk outside.
very convenient.
It is very convenient.
I don't know how much it snows in Chicago. I've never experienced that yet, but I feel like it's not gonna be like great.
Snows.
I don't think it's gonna be great.
It snows, but
We'll find out.
you can be underground and not have to worry about it. You never even have to
Well, I
see.
want to be chauffeured, honestly.
You never have to even see sunlight.
Okay, great.
All right, let's walk in. So the thing that people love about Lakeshore East is actually you have all these residential buildings. So it's a really residential community, but it's landed by this park that they built just specifically for this neighborhood. It's so quaint and cute. They do like community events, Easter egg hunts, like all of that for the family. But then also there's a dog park right here. So it's a super cute area right in the heart of downtown. So we'll go down there and I'll show it to you.
Cute.
After you.
Cute.
So it's like super cute down here. all tree lined.
It's like very developed.
Yeah, so all of these are residential buildings, which are right around it, besides this one. So you're right in between the lake and the park. And then Millennium Park is right on the other side of those.
We've made the loop.
We made the full loop, guys. All right, guys, so thank you so much for taking the time to walk with us all the way through the loop. If you guys have been joining us this long, we would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and continue on with us. We have so many different neighborhood videos coming on top of it, property tours, and just kind of showing you the Chicago lifestyle. We love hearing comments in the comment section. So if you are familiar with the loop or you have lived down here, please give us your hidden gems. We always love hearing that, hearing from our community.
Please let us know your favorite mom and pop restaurant that's in the loop.
Yeah, I really like Italian Village for mom and pop. Thank you so much to my friend Stephen for tagging along with us and giving his commentary from a New Yorker standpoint. Again, if you are looking to move to the city of Chicago, or you think the Loop is the type of neighborhood that you are wanting, I would happily invite you to fill out our intake form down below. We would love to work with you while you buy a property here in the city of Chicago, especially in the neighborhood. On that note, we're gonna let Rodeo kind of play around, but thank you so much for joining along.